this is Tom Buckley here. This is part of our open note-taking video series, which is waxed and waned over the years, but this is sharing our learning of what we've discovered through our jobs with other people in the organisation. Today, how to share and work on a document in class and manage capturing that information without actually using any Kramer or any kit that's particularly specialist. We'll go on to look at how to do that, but first thing we're going to look at is why and what kind of examples have we got for this. And at this point I'll leave you and you'll just be left with my monotone voice. Hope you find this helpful. If you want any more information, just give me an email. Okay, so when might you use this? Well, you might have a room with a presentation screen, and you might have workstations around of some variety, like a computer lab with desks. Or you could have a room with a presentation screen and everyone's on sofas chilling out using laptops, and there's some kind of groovy group work going on. However, you still want to have the group work captured, and you still want this work to be presented fluidly on the screen at the front, but without anyone else having to learn any technical skills or press any buttons or anything that's too complicated. So it's about sharing a document using some good practice, getting that document to people, and setting up the document in a way that can be, utilized for group work. So what does that look like? So here is our starting point. It's a PowerPoint, as a lot of starting points are. I have a case study, so we're going to be doing some problem-based learning in the form of a case or a patient, and we're going to be talking about the incident of the dog with no nose. What I've done is I've got the information to do with the case on a slide, and then I have divided each group's work later on into some trigger questions which are the same for each group. What we're going to be doing is uploading this document, this PowerPoint, to a place where we can get a link to it, so people will be editing a live document, and each group will be working individually on a different slide at the same time. That will allow us to access the document and present it at the front and see what everyone's doing in real time, well, real-ish time, about a second delay. And it'll also allow people to bring in loads of different digital artifacts like videos and images if they want to. Say there was another case of a dog presenting with a no nose, they could have an image of it or how they'd expect to find the dog, or a drawing that they might have done elsewhere. The disadvantage is there's a little bit of setup to get this right, and because of the problem we have with the tenancies, students being on one, staff being on the other, not being able to work together, it's a slightly circuitous way, but here's how it goes. I saved this document. Save. I've saved it on my desktop because I'm a terrible human being. I go to my OneDrive, of which I've made a folder called exercise. I'm going to upload this PowerPoint that I've got on my desktop because I'm a terrible person. Case study. There you go. Open. Once it's uploaded, I can then get a link. Because we can't share it directly with specific students, what we tend to do is open up so anyone can view it just before the session, allow people to edit it, but set an expiry date for that. So after the session it will stop being available for people to edit. They can't go back and change it, but also there's no risk of it being seen by anyone untoward. Once I've applied that, I can copy the link and I can get it to people. How do you get it to people? Surely you just email it to people. Well, no. I mean, if you're doing group work, you'll know there's loads of different frustrating parts. One of the ones that's been introduced recently into the front of people's minds is data protection. So really, in a group setting, we don't want to be exposing people to having to open up their emails to get a link. So there's two ways you could do this. You could pop the link on Blackboard so everyone can access it that way. You might want to limit it to the people in the room, so you might want to use something like the URL shortener. What that is a website called go.ue.ac.uk where you can put in a long URL in and get a short URL out. So it can be PBL1. So all you'll have to say in the room is, write on the board, go to go.ue.ac.uk/PBL1, and you'll be able to access the document. So what you're really doing in that instance is just allowing people to collaboratively work on the document. You've got the original link, you can see the document, you can see the work live. And you could do this on paper. It's easy to do on paper, it's fine to do on paper or a whiteboard. We've been doing it for as long as we've been educating and had paper and whiteboards. I love whiteboards, they're quite remarkable. What this allows you to do is just take it away with you, give it to students a bit later, really control that data without having to interfere, and you can get people to note, take, and have conversations in their group. You know, there's a lot of metacognitive things about talking about answers, communicating answers and writing it down. It would be a shame to lose it the more and more we move into the digital world. How else can you do it digitally? You could just go to, rather than using a online document like this, you could go to use OneNote instead. Same problem with the tenancies. It's set up as a notebook. If you don't know what that is, there'll be another video at some stage outlining it. Otherwise, you could use a Blackboard or Wiki or something like that. Again, unlike a document like this, it's not a skill they'll ever use in the real world. They might use it, work on collaborative websites, wikis. I very much doubt they'll need the skills to do a Blackboard wiki in the rest of their life. And we're not allowed to create accounts for people on like third-party tools anymore. So this is just an overview of how to work on joint documents. I hope you found that useful. Any questions of what it looks like and feels like, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for listening.